While ADUs benefit people of all ages, our surveys show that our 3 million California members are building ADUs because they allow people to age in community by providing a means to live in a separate, more accessible home on their own property. And that is exactly what 80% of older adults want most. Latest survey, 84% of our members said they would definitely consider an ADU as a way to provide easy downsize to a separate, smaller, more accessible home on their own family property. In that same survey, nearly 80% of others listed ADUs as a way they would prefer to provide a home for a loved one in need of care, to provide affordable housing for a family member, or living quarters for a caregiver or a relative who requires care, to provide a means to feel safer by simply having someone live nearby, or as a way to increase the value of their home or earn extra income from renting to a tenant. AARP has long been an ADU advocate and an active member of the coalition to kind of re-legalize the ADU housing option. What we call ADUs today was for centuries a rather common housing arrangement, as homeowners were free to use their properties to meet changing family needs. Young adults frequently remained on their family property. Additional housing was built to provide mutual support among family groups. And homeowners, often widows, supported themselves by seeking roomers or boarders to get by in retirement. In fact, two of my grandparents and my own family did just that. But after World War II, ADUs were often legally banned in favor of a rising trend towards suburban sprawl, with each plot exclusively reserved for one dwelling. In the late 80s, the rapid aging of the U.S. population and the move towards a smaller household size began to boost demand for smaller homes and more compact neighborhoods. This trend has continued, as according to the most recent census, we have most households now only have a single occupant, and 75% have no minor children residents at all. Moving on, in the year 2000, AARP, along with the American Planning Association, then developed a well-read ADU Model State Act and local ADU ordinance. So naturally, when advocate organizations like the Bay Area Council up in Northern California proposed pushing major state ADU legislation in California, AARP was solidly on board. In 2017, legislation passed new state laws which ban many local barriers to ADU creation and return reasonable rights to homeowners in California to manage their properties in a way that best benefited their family and their desire to age long-term in their communities. You may hear more about those laws and the ones that followed today. Currently for AARP California, our ADU work largely centers on 4 areas. One, kind of providing community grants to fund local ADU projects and initiatives. Secondly, working with community and the 53 California cities and counties in the AARP network of age-friendly states and communities to provide ways that they can include specific ADU actions as a positive part of their age-friendly act. Thirdly, we work in advocating and pushing for key national, state, and local ADU legislation. And finally, we provide free and publicly available resources from toolkits, how-to guides, and more on our ADU information website, which I'll reference later on. Looking at, we plan firstly to push for new and ongoing work within and beyond our AARP network of states and communities to modernize local zoning ordinances and general plan housing elements to incentivize homeowners to create ADUs. Next, we are supporting homeowners, familiarization and outward sessions like this one to educate homeowners on ADU local regulations and building process and familiarizing them with the help available in their communities. It is possible, and it's been done, for anyone to slug through the entire ADU creation process, but it's a multifaceted process. And most of us amateur homeowners/developers are going to need some professional help navigating the process. Next, ADUs are expensive on a per-foot basis, and most of the conventional financing tools require a large initial source of capital. Homeowners with this capital have preference, and so we are going to continue to push for innovative lending options to enable lower-income homeowners to create ADUs, like using new funding paths such as renovation loans or public funding in return for deed restrictions, like a guaranteed period of low rentability, which is available for some months after the ADU is built. Finally, in view of the aging populations, we will push for innovations to meet a growing need for accessible units. An inaccessible ADU is not much use to an older adult that has to relocate because they can't get a mobility device into their primary house. We want communities to offer incentives like allowing a second ADU on property if one ADU meets simple accessibility standards like zero-step entry, well-placed grab bars, and door handles versus doorknobs. AARP has free to the public resources, including a design catalog, technical drawings, resources about financing and budgeting, and a video library on our ADU help page. So for more info, please feel free to visit aarp.org/ADU or aarp.org/future of housing.